let's talk about my issues with Blaire White.
Idiot. Idiot.
Who are you trying to pander to? Obviously conservatives, but why?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I thought today we would have a little bit of fun. Can we have fun, or is everything so serious all the time? Today we're going to be reacting to TikTokers who hate me, which is all of them. No, really. I mean, if you're on the Commie app, if you're on the Chinese spyware app, you're not exactly part of the Blaire White army, and I would say that's okay. But it's really not. Get well soon. You may remember last time we did this, there was a woke trans activist who made a TikTok about me saying I'm a horrible representation of trans people.
Blaire White is another one of those ultra privileged trans people that I will never understand, because she hasn't struggled like most of us trans people have struggled, and so she just doesn't fully understand. She has a lot of really problematic views, and why I think she's worse than Caitlyn Jenner is because she spreads misinformation, like literally fake news. But she also, just has like really strong opinions that are very transphobic, that are very problematic, that are very racist, that are very ableist, and that are very classist. And I, think that she's the worst representation of what a trans person can be.
And you may also recognize that very same TikToker as the trans woman who was banned from the White House for stripping. So, I'm not going to say that's God. Not going to say that's karma, but what I am going to say is I paid for a voodoo priestess to make something really bad happen to you. So let's react to some more and see what happens to them 9 months from now.
I'm weaker. I'm stupider. I'm an idiot. I'm a f***ing idiot.
Well, let me just say, when someone tells you who they are, believe them. And you're the one chanting how you're an idiot right now. Gotta say it fits. I've been saying this, can cool people please take back colored hair? Because every time I see someone with green hair and Blaire White in the tags, I just know it's going to be negative. Like, I should not be able to just tell via your hair color that you're a non-binary communist who snorts their antidepressants, but I can, and that's an issue. So if we could just take back colored hair, maybe, if it gets cool enough again, I'll join you. I would love to maybe put some like pink tips or something, just, something not annoying.
Girl, please be serious, because how are you going to post this? Alright, so you posted that when you have a full video on YouTube explaining why you kept your penis. And I'm not judging what you did. I don't care what anyone does with their body. Keep it. Get rid of it. I don't really care. But what is this tweet? And this isn't the first time you have used the same exact images and the same exact words. Who are you trying to pander to? Obviously conservatives, but why? How much are they paying you? Because I want to get in on some of that action then.
So it really is also a hallmark of the wokey that they are unable to perceive humor. So me making a joke, me making a comical tweet that went viral because it was that funny, of course, goes right over their heads. And of course, because these type of people only project how they actually feel about minorities, me making a joke or me having a certain opinion or me saying anything has to be pandering to someone. It can't just be genuinely coming out of my mouth and genuine to who I am. It can't just be a joke I'm making. It has to be me trying to pander to someone. Well, I promise you it's not that deep. It's certainly not any deeper than the hole that exists in your brain.
So the problem that I have with Blaire White and a lot of other people have is that she's the most transgender person. And what I mean by that is she very much expects everyone that is transgender to be very binary. She kind of invalidates trans people by saying they're not, masculine or feminine enough. Or if they haven't had enough surgeries, they're not trans. And she's a Republican Trump supporter.
So one of the funniest things about being a public figure is that people just tend to create little narratives about you, and it just is true because enough people say it. So people love saying that I sit up here and really make videos judging people's passability or how feminine or masculine they are, when in reality, that's actually just not true. If I bring up a person's looks, it's because it's relevant to the argument that that person is making. For example, you want to be called a they, them. Why do you look entirely like a woman? You want to be called he and you are wearing a push-up bra. Your appearance is probably relevant in why you're not getting called he, him. So the lie that not having enough surgeries means that I don't think you're trans enough. No, the line I've always drawn is you're not trans if you don't transition, which is a very common sense line to draw. It's kind of the bare minimum. It's kind of like saying a man who isn't attracted to men is gay, or like a woman who isn't attracted to women is a lesbian. No, there are very simple definitions for these things, and so those definitions are often important. And I've only ever had one surgery in my life, so I'm not exactly seeing why you think that I believe trans people have to have all these surgeries. No, it's just there should be some transition taking place if you call yourself a trans person.
How did we get here? How did this happen? Did the frogs finally get to him? Did the frogs bring up some good points? Like, I know they're both bad people. I'm just confused. That's all.
You stay confused, babe. Because oftentimes, if you're confused and everyone else is kind of understanding, the problem might be you.
I want Blaire White to stick her head in a pool full of lava because she's f***ing awful.
I can smell this video.
I recently watched a video where Blaire White and Jeffree Star both were agreeing that they them pronouns are not valid. And I have a question for the transgender and trans supporting people who agree with this. What is a transgender person to do when ontologically they do not fit into either category neatly? Are they supposed to affirm their gender against physical appearances, or stay closeted for the rest of their life? Or maybe does it make more sense for them to go by gender neutral pronouns to kind of meet society where it's at?
So my response would be, you're not meeting society where it's at by adopting they them pronouns. You're actually going against society, because people who subscribe to gender ideology can try as hard as they want to make they them a thing, but it's just not going to happen.
Gretchen, stop trying to make
the they and them
happen. It's not going to happen.
It's an unnatural way of speaking. It doesn't make sense. And all I'm saying is you can go by whatever pronouns you want and you are free to do that. However, the expectation for people around you, especially strangers, to just know that you go by they, them, and if you don't, you're filming them in the drive-thru like we see so often on TikTok, you're yelling at people on the street, you're upset because they didn't call you a they, them, that's a you problem, baby girl. People don't speak that way. People don't use they, them for an individual person they see right in front of them and for which they can see their secondary sex characteristics. The only time they, them is used for an individual person is if their secondary sex characteristics are not clearly visible, like someone cut you off in traffic, but you can't see who's driving the car who did it. Oh, they cut me off. You're not going to say he or she because you can't really see. But 99% of the time, when an individual is standing in front of you, your brain is registering them as male or female, and you're going to inherently say he or she. So it's just not a natural way of speaking, and you're not going to get people to start using it. Sorry, it's just not going to happen.
Cut that bitch head off and walk away giggling. It do not make sense to me.
Imagine holding a political position because you want people to like you rather than because you genuinely think it's true. Can't relate. Not a collectivist over here. Not wanting to be part of some group. Just wanting to say things how I see it. And that has all to do with who likes it or who doesn't like it. Plenty of conservatives do not like it. I'm hated by plenty of conservatives, but I'm hated by a lot more liberals. I will say that. And if we're just going to measure which side has treated me better over the years, I think anyone knows the answer.
Creator Blaire White wants you to know that yes, she is prettier than you.
In other news, I am having FFS next Friday specifically so that Blaire White can never say that again. This surgery is not for gender affirmation, it's for gender retaliation.
So you're getting surgery so that I can never tell you that I'm prettier than you again when I have never said that in my life. Sounds healthy. Sounds like a totally rational reason to cut your face up. Did you tell the doctor that first? Shout out to you. Hope your surgery goes well. But I didn't even know you existed, sis. And it really is such a crazy thing to me. Like, reacting to people who are making TikToks about me really gives me a clearer view, I guess, of like the public perception of me, especially from people who don't like me, obviously. But 99% of the time, it has to do with looks. It has to do with people saying that I feel like I look better than people, or I'm prettier than people, or I'm judging people's looks. And it's like, I don't understand that. Meanwhile, I'm here a pretty decently insecure person, like a person who has my fair share of insecurities. I never sit up here and talk about how I'm prettier than people. Like, what are you talking about?
So you've heard of the expression Uncle Tom. I know it sounds like I'm about to swerve out of my lane, but I promise I'm not. I was thinking of using this term for trans people who are awful to other trans people, but I'm a white lady and that kind of felt very uncomfy. So I've got an alternative term for true scums and passing white trans women, and that is a cousin Blaire.
So first of all, brush your teeth. You literally sat there and had the thought process, how can I find an offensive word to call trans people I disagree with? How can I invent a slur to call trans people who don't do and say exactly what I want them to do? And yet, announcement for your dumbass, I'm actually biracial, so according to your own oppression Olympics, you're really just some basic white broad who sat up here, invented a slur for someone you thought was a white trans woman who's actually a biracial trans woman, and it's all based on the fact that I don't think exactly how you want me to think, because I should be submissive to you, right? White lady, right? Sorry for getting out of line. Imagine really thinking that you're on the side of trans people while reducing their agency down to must have opinions that are preset in my mind for them to have. These people are literally morons.
Who cares about friends? In this world, there are shepherds and there are sheep, and Lindsay is a major sheep. I'm just picturing Trent.
Yeah, I'm the sheep standing here on my own, trying to carve out a new path, and you're the shepherd trying to jump on an anti-Blaire White algorithm hate train. You totally don't have that backwards.
All right, this is gonna kill my career, get me blacklisted, and harassed for the next 3 years of my life. But let's talk about my issues with Blaire White. It's her blatant disrespect to the trans community. The fact that she treats non-passing women as less than, and has bullied a lot of trans women on here.
Again, these people invent that I really talk about people's passability. I'm sorry, is it passability that I have talked about like that man with the beard going into the woman's restroom? Is that me really talking about passability for making just a common sense argument that, hey, maybe the reason people are upset that you're going in the men's bathroom is because you are presenting entirely as male? Is that about passability? Is that about judging trans women who just maybe have a harder look to them and maybe aren't as lucky as other trans women? Or is that me making a very clear distinction between a trans woman and a man posing as a trans woman? You tell me, maybe I'm crazy. Okay, that was actually funny. I will give you that. But yeah, people love bringing up that tweet where I say stop ending friendships over political differences. And it's like, no one's talking about people who want your family to be broken apart. No one's talking about people who actually hold extremist views. But the problem is, y'all will really sit up here and end friendships over like, I believe in free speech. I believe in the Second Amendment. And that to y'all is like, y'all are going to cut people off. But it's like, that's what I'm actually talking about. All right, I'm over it. I'm so over it, I'm under it. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel as well as my podcast channel. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.